In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Hello everyone, Science Viking here, and it is time to return to Darkest Dungeon. Let's see, is there any effective use I can make of the heirlooms I currently have? I could upgrade the Nomad Wagon. Alternatively, I could upgrade, I could reduce the disease treatment cost, but that isn't really that useful. But reducing quirk treatment costs, that actually is worth trading some things for. So, trade away some portraits to get enough busts to upgrade the treatment library. And I actually have enough heirlooms to do that again. So I'm going to do that again. Trade away. Let's start by trading away more portraits. And while I'm at it, let's trade away a couple of deeds. That should do it.
Experimental techniques and tonics can overcome things a sharpened sword cannot.
And I'll leave the upgrading of the... I do not want to go to the Butcher's Circus. I'll leave that upgraded as it is, but... You know, we still have yet to recruit a bounty hunter, ever. I think I'm going to upgrade the Stagecoach network. I'm going to need more heroes.
Great heroes can be found even here, in the mud and rain.
Of course, now I should probably save up to upgrade armor smithing, considering the fact that, one, that's required to get the next level of experienced recruits, and two, frankly, we're just going to need it. And we've defeated all of the novice level bosses, and I have an intermediate level boss ready for a killing. It's a Swine King, so what would be a good team composition for that? The Swine King has relatively little damage reduction, so he doesn't deal well with mark exploitation. So I think I know what I'm going to bring. I'm not bringing the novices on that mission. Instead, I can't bring Bolbec, she's too high level, but I can bring Prestote, Dismas, Tornabut, and Frossard. So I have a Vestal, two Highwayman, a Houndmaster, and a Crusader. Though this is the kind of situation that makes me really wish that we had a bounty hunter somewhere in this operation, because then I could have a decent melee hero that actually can exploit marks. But I don't have that yet, so for now I have to work with what I do have. Okay. I have Sanguine Snuff, but that wouldn't be a good idea. Instead, I'm going with Junia's Head and a Worry Stone. Now for my Bounty Hunter, I definitely want the Stalwart Buckle. And since he's mostly going to be using Pistol Shot, do I have anything good to enhance ranged skills? The Archer's Ring is okay. But so I could also go with the not doing the dodgy sheath because it reduces the accuracy of ranged skills. So the Drifter's Buckle might be good. Honestly, I'm just going to give him... I'm going to equip Dismas with Dismas's Head for that 25% damage boost. And for the Houndmaster, I'll give him the Evidence of Corruption. And let's see. I'll give him the Archer's Ring because Hound skills are considered to be ranged. Hound's Rush is a ranged skill, and frankly, the Houndmaster has enough accuracy issues as it is. And for the Crusader, I'm going to give him the Glittering Spaulders and the Signed Conscription. That boosts the effectiveness of his stress skills, boosts his max HP to frankly phenomenal levels, and boosts his protection. It just makes him a pure tank. Okay, he also has both Zealous Vigil and Zealous Speech. I already like the skills he has equipped. Same thing for the Houndmaster. And the Highwayman. Okay, looks like everybody's ready. I'm not ready, but I will never be ready. And we're up to 29 vials of the blood. I've got to bring plenty of shovels and plenty of food. Actually, I don't need to bring that much. I don't know. Yeah, I only need 1 stack of food, but a handful of medicinal herbs, plenty of anti-venom and bandages, because the Warrens has blight and bleeding in great measure, plenty of keys, a little holy water, and I refuse to forget the torches. I will not forget the torches, he says as
My first attempts at summoning were crude, and the results disappointing. I soon found, however, that the type and condition of the host's meat was a critical factor. The best results came from pigs, whose flesh is most like that of man.
That's disturbing on a
A
variety of
nameless
levels.
abomination. A testament to my failures. It must be destroyed.
Not a nameless abomination, its name is Wilbur. Okay, I want to get to this secret door, obviously, and I also want to get to this room battle with treasure, so we're going to take a bit of a zigzaggedy path. I'm pretty sure I know where the boss is, though.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
You know, it somehow feels even more insulting when he says 100 gold is wealth beyond measure than when he says a torch is. I'm not sure why, but that feels like 100 gold being wealth beyond measure is somehow even more ridiculous than a torch. Open vein will actually do pretty good damage, except it won't hit. So is Dazzle the one that's more dangerous? Or not? Okay, going for target missile. And that has the further advantage of reducing his protection to 0. It means even Presticott can get some damage in. I wonder how many diseases we're going to have at the end of this, honestly. It's probably going to be a lot, but I kind of wonder how many. Okay, it'd be real nice if the Houndmaster could go before the Crusader, but I can't be certain of that. Actually, it doesn't make much of a difference, because that means we're not left behind a corpse.
Unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Judgment is not going to remove these enemies in any reasonable amount of time, so I may as well stick with Dazzling Light. And smite the corpse. Actually, that was a bad call. What would make a lot more sense
How quickly the tide
is
turns.
the real damage dealers, the Houndmaster and the Highwayman, can comfortably hit the enemies that are farther back, so I may as well just have the Crusader focus on reducing everyone's stress with his fire and cry. Of course, I'm not smart enough to think of such a thing. Someone else must have thought of it and whispered it to me. That's why I know that I should do
Destroy
that now.
them all.
I mean, Presticott even has improved stress skills thanks to those trinkets. Okay, I can't reach it with Dazzling Light, but I can reach it with Judgment. I hope you're feeling judged, Mr. Swine. Okay, I'd really like it if Hound's Rush could. And it's can.
This expedition at least promises success.
Unlock the heirloom chest. Ah, wealth beyond measure.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Okay, we're gonna have to do a bit of fighting. Ah, it's almost the same team composition as before, except we surprised them this time. Run for open vein. So it's basically the same damage as pistol shot, except it can cause bleeding. Followed by smite, which didn't do very much. Let's see, Hound's Rush will do 8 to 12. Target Whistle will add up to more in the long run. And Dazzling Light on the one that's most likely to create problems if it gets a turn. And congratulations, the large corpse eater might not get a turn this fight. The small ones will, though. And they're enough trouble. Yep, Dismas gets to go first. Execute it. That's not how you execute something, Dismas. And don't go talking about how you never miss after doing that. is nice and welcome, though. Press to concentrate anti-venom and smite. And there we go.
Gently. This is how a life is taken.
Open vein could one-shot. No, but it's close enough because it finished off a zealous accusation.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
Get some healing in. Not another 22, but honestly, 9 is pretty good for this level. We're gonna be, we're burning through our anti-venom though. Okay, Hound's Brush on the foot here. It resisted bleeding, so Presticott actually has to kill it. And for that, there is Zealous Accusation.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I don't need an extra stack of shovels is more likely to be helpful than an extra stack of bandages. And another room battle with treasure. And Crimson Court enemies! For the first time in a long time, we have supplicants.
Momentary abatement.
Amusingly, their bleed resistance is actually their weakest resistance. Predigestion, which I keep trying to read as prestidigitation, but predigestion does not cause the Crimson Prince. That's good, because I didn't bring any of the blood. Hound's Rush on this one. And Zealous Accusation on this.
Press disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Still need to do a bit more damage. Unfortunately, the enemy is doing a very good job of doing this damage. More anti-venom. And let's go with pistol shot this time. That is a good pistol shot. Those are the kind of pistol shot numbers I want to be seeing every time. Predigestion does a lot of blight damage, so it could be worse, I guess. Okay, Hound's Rush this one. Zealous Accusation should clear the corpse and make a new one. Okay, we're getting through them, but they're creating a lot of problems.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Still not using the thirst. They just like the only no, it's not the thirst for them. It's gather the blood. They're still just sticking with predigestion. They're just going all in on that.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Grabbing the extra stack of shovels for the blood and the holy water for the crests. But, well, so ends our first encounter with Crimson Court enemies since killing the Baron. And, well, I'm not complaining. I am now! I'm sure I'll find something to complain about with the hulking Swinotar all of a sudden. The Swine Surprise. Reduce protection and he's marked. Let's see if I can stun him. Let's see if I can stun him, I say, as I have the Crusader use Smite and not Stunning Blow. Okay. I mean, his stun resistance is 95%, so it would pretty much require a miracle for me to stun him. He'll use Trot Retreat, I believe. Nope, straight into Boar Rush. Fortunately, on the person who can best handle it. Unfortunately, I forgot that was a move ability. Pistol shot, that's good, I just need a little more. Just a little more damage and the Swinotar will be gone, and then we just have to deal with the other two. I mean, meantime, I just need to rely on Frossart here to just heal through all of this.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Going for Blackjack. Again, no stun. There's not a lot I can do about it. And Trot Retreat, which means either Boar Rush or Pig Spear, and both of those things are bad. Boar Rush or Pig Spear. In other words, pain. Okay, guys, prepare for pain. Or not. This luck is on my side a little bit. Sticking with Blackjack. The issue is if I move the Houndmaster back, that moves the Highwayman forward, so I can't really do that. I have to wait for the Crusader to eventually come to his senses so I can move him forward. 1. May as well do Open Vein since it does the same base damage but causes bleeding. Okay, that's the end of the Swinotar. That's the big problem done. Now we just need to deal with the 2 smaller problems. Target the Marcher. Haha! And critical healing on the guy with the lowest health. That was actually really cool.
Perhaps the turning point.
Okay, and now having the Houndmaster move back is an option. And I'll do that. Okay, I'm going to use some judgment to get rid of the Marcher. Okay, that leaves just the Swine Reaver. Just the Swine Reaver. Okay, Stunning Blow, 65% chance to stun. I'll take it. This guy is not going down in 1 turn. And I can't reach him with Pistol Shot either, so I'm going to have to rely on critical hits that I get out of nowhere and bleeding damage. Almost rid of the Reaver. And now I'm rid of the Reaver. Reaver has been reaved.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Wait a second. I do not have the inventory space for the Trapezohedrons right now, but I probably will when the boss is dead. So, I mean, we've cleared out the area between us and...
Finding the stuff is only the first
not
test.
bothering with the journal page.
Now it must be carried home.
I mean, I've essentially cleared out a path to get to the loot, so now I'm just gonna go kill the boss and then, let's go kill the boss first and I can come back for the loot. And we have less need of our supply items. May as well do the same thing with that pack for the same reason. Like I said, well, obviously the boss can only be in one of these 3 rooms, and I'm 99% sure it's this one specifically. Ah! Knowing about the trap does not always prevent you from evading it. It always prevent you from falling into it. Okay, scouting? Scouting. Okay, we have found the boss room. There's not even a hallway battle between us and the boss. This is perfect. Baby, light my fire. We can afford to feast. Okay, Zealous Vigil to prevent any midnight surprises. Zealous Speech to reduce everybody's stress level. And then I have enough time for one more action. Back to I didn't actually mean to click on Prey. Actually, I did mean to click on Prey. Prey is actually the best use of that last few time units.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Okay, who most badly needs a drink? I'm going to give it to the Houndmaster. Partially because I don't remember what it does. Yeah, reduced stress and plus 30% damage. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I gave that to the Houndmaster. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't sure what the buff did. Anyway, moment of truth time. So begins our first mid-level boss fight.
It is a travesty. A blundering mountain of hatred and rage.
Hatred, rage, and pork. Alright. It's got it bleeding, and I've already done a decent amount of damage to it. It makes me wish that I had... You completely dodged the marking ability. Okay, no point in even bothering with Dazzling Light. Judgment might be worth using. It makes me wish that I had the other half of the trinket pair for the Houndmaster, because it makes him deal extra damage to bleeding enemies. Wild Flailing. I've never seen him use that before, because I've never had a case where nobody was marking with a squeal on really the person I least need to be active.
Impressive.
Oh, yeah, continue with Open Vein and just keep accumulating damage that way. I've already taken out almost a quarter of his health. Actually, slightly more than a quarter, I think. Okay, Target Whistle is protection. Part of it is his protection of 0 makes him rather vulnerable. And Smite, which still doesn't do very much. The thing about the special Crusader trinkets is they're really all about making him a tank. He can be a damage hero, but you really, if you're going to do that, you really want to combine that with abilities that are specific, with trinkets that boost his damage, which his special trinkets don't. Okay, Pistol Shot. Nice 12 to 22 damage. And he finally succeeds at marking something. Okay, now is a great time for those dog treats I always forget about. So now now the Houndmaster has plus 80% damage.
The ground quakes.
Yeah, those are the kind of damage numbers I want to see. Let's get more of those. Keep going with Divine Comfort. And just as kind of a token effort, Smite. And it even missed. Not that it matters. Whoa.
Ears, blurred vision.
And this is the moment where we have to properly appreciate that this is a mid-level boss, when it does things like that. Okay, Pistol Shot. Won't kill, but that's not terribly important. Okay, so it isn't damaging Dismas, so I can heal Dismas. Hound's Rush. Not a critical this time. Okay, Divine Grace, Divine Grace, Divine Grace. Okay, 9. 9 is okay. I would have liked higher than 9, but I can work with 9. And then he tries the same trick on the Crusader, and it basically does nothing. I'm actually gonna, you know what? No, Inspiring Cry restores so few hit points. It's only really worth it to get people off of death's door. And Pistol Shot.
Nothing is even more horrible than death.
Now we have to deal with
cannot
Wilbur.
come soon enough.
And Wilbur has the ability to do that. And that is bad. The Smite only does 9 to 17. Stunning Blow has a 30% chance to stun. I'm gonna risk it. And I got it. I got the stun, which means that we now have a round to attack him, during which he probably can't stun us. Okay, he no longer has the boost, so I'm going to go with another dog treat, because I want to make really sure Wilbur dies. Okay, we're probably... Yeah, we're okay now. He gets one bit of squeal, and then on his next action, he bleeds out. In that case, I may as well go back to Inspiring Cry. And Divine Grace, because Dismas really needs to have his insides put back in after that obliterate body.
Death by inches.
Wait. I got a blueprint. That's not supposed to happen. I'll leave the bloodied fetish behind, but I am going to continue adventuring. I thought you only got blueprints from bosses that gave you trophies. Because I haven't gotten blueprints from any of the novice level bosses, but I'm getting blueprints. I got a blueprint from an intermediate level boss. That's... I guess it works differently than I thought it did. Huh. I mean, I'm not complaining. Not that I'm going to have the heirlooms to use that blueprint for a while.
These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
Okay, and I go in for one last extra fight, and I get this. Wonderful. Okay. Go for the Corpse Eater first because it has fewer hit points. Gonna focus on healing because we are probably gonna spend some time being hit very hard. Okay, we can pray mist. That is good because having him be marked would probably not be good when there's a Swinotar in the party. Okay, that displacement is less of a problem because I can still use pistol shot. 95% stun resistance, 120% base chance to stun. I have a small chance to stun this one. Oh, crunching backhand is not a move ability. I assumed crunching backhand could move as well as stun. I just go for smite on the Swinotar. Truth prevails. Truth and a sword prevails. Okay, that's the end of the large corpse. That's the end of the corpse eater. It's almost the end of us, too. Now we just have to deal with the Swinotar. Target whistle. Reduce that mighty 40% protection down to a much more manageable 15. And see what pistol shot can do now. Nothing is what pistol shot can do, apparently. Healing for the Vestal. And he really does not like those two. He really does not like the Highwayman and the Vestal standing next to each other like that. There's a little bit more damage in your and now you get a critical business. Would have been really cool to get that last turn. Welcome to Science Viking. Welcome to the Science Viking channel. The only place where you'll hear someone complain about getting a critical hit. Skeleton key, and I need to save one skeleton key for the other one.
Handsome reward for a task well performed.
Okay. I'm not worrying about this curio. I'm just going for the secret door, and then we're done. But first, I need to kill these guys. Pistol shot is a good start on the Marcher because I can finish him off with Rush. Okay, that's the end of the stress damage. Now we just need to deal with the damage damage. Now the Vestal stick of what she's good at, healing. Unfortunately, the Reaver is going to take a little while to die.
Compassion is a rarity.
Fortunately, we can just overpower this at this point, though. Go for target whistle, because if I can do that, pistol shot should one-shot the Gorer next turn. And stunning blow, just on the off chance that it works. And it does! Pistol shot, and there we go. That leaves us with just the Reaver. Challenging as a Reaver can be, he's not that bad. And there we go.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Oh, more heirlooms, more portraits. That's good. And back through a hallway we've been to before, and we can get to the secret door. Glad I decided to hold off on this until I had a chance to dump all my supply
the promise
items.
of safety.
Or we'll use all my supply items. I'm gonna just dump the leftovers when we get back, when we get to the secret door. All right. Use a skeleton key. Unlock the ancient artifact.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Okay, with 3 trapezohedrons, a handful of gold, and a decent number of heirlooms, let's get out of here while we're still alive. $15,000 gold, not counting the quest reward. And a blueprint. Not bad at all. And we have a second champion. And 2 diseases. So I guess the answer to the number of diseases we were going to get is 2. And I also need to fix Presticott's weak grip. I also have 2 different instances of minus 20% healing skills while camping. That's kind of funny. I got the same effect from 2 different diseases.
Awash in blood and delusion, he bears the burden of 1,000 lifetimes.
Okay, so I have the option to get another flagellant. The question is, who do I dismiss to get one? It'll be one of the 2 level 0 people. And since I don't have any other novice level healers, it's going to be the abomination that gets dismissed.
Another soul battered and broken, cast aside like a spent torch.
Light sensitive or weak grip? I'm going to go with the one that has weak grip, but I am probably going to get rid of that quirk. Okay, and let's see what Stagecoach has for me, and it has mostly classes I already have. Let's see, how close am I to being able to get the next level of armor smithing? Not close at all is how close I am. Right, before I forget, let's get some diseases treated. Get rid of the bulimia and the spasm of the entrails. Next thing to do, now that I have money, would be to look into upgrading things and getting rid of negative quirks. In fact, that's actually the next thing that I'm going to do. Let's see. I think I should get rid of Gale's Hylomania. It's not locked in yet, so it won't be as expensive to get rid of, and it is likely to create significant problems if he keeps it. And I hadn't even fully upgraded the Houndmaster who I brought to the boss fight. Well, I have now. But just quick scroll through everybody, spend a little gold on some upgraded equipment. Just upgrade the Abomination's mutation. And into where we can upgrade some skills. And lo and behold, we're broke again, which means it's time for another mission. And I actually don't have the mastery level to take on another boss, and I can't take on... I'm not going to be able to even start the Viscount's mission because, well, I don't have enough... I won't be able to even start the Viscount's mission because I only have 2 champions, and I'm not risking any of my level 4 people. So let's see, I could get the Bright Tambourine for a Jester. Or the Manslayer's Ring. Sun Cloak. I don't have the resources to take on a... You know, this is a long mission, but I think we actually have the ability to staff it. It means a serious risk of running into the thing from the stars, but a legendary bracer would be really good, and we actually don't have any of those right now. Question is, what kind of team composition do I bring? And I'm thinking, given the fish folks' resistance to both blight and to both bleeding and physical damage, I'm going to go with a blight composition. Noxious Blast, Plague Grenade, Battlefield Medicine, and Disorienting Blast. It'd be nice to have Emboldening Vapors, but I can live without it. Okay. Unequip all trinkets. Sort by class. Again. The Vestal gets what the Vestal always gets until we find, like, a Tome of Holy Healing or something. Plague Doctor gets the Blasphemous Vial. And to balance that out, he also gets a Worry Stone. The Abomination. Let's Padlock of Transference, increasing his stun and blight chance, and then I'll give him the Restraining Padlock. And the Man-at-Arms, again, a class we have no unique equipment for. I'll give him Barristan's Head and the Snake Oil. Once again, now I'm actually using 2 of the 3 heads. Okay, that's provision. I need to bring plenty of food. I can afford to skimp on anti-venom. There is one curio interaction that uses anti-venom, but there's only one. Cannot afford to skip on torches. I say after I failed to realize that I already had enough torches. Okay, so medicinal herbs in case we're running the fish carcasses. We have 33 vials of the blood. Yeah, blood shortages look like they're just not going to be a problem for a while. Alright, I can't sell that one. And I think we're ready. Let's begin. And thralls will explode if left for too long.
These salt-soaked caverns are teeming with pelagic nightmares.
Okay, this is going to be a bit of a challenge.
They must be flushed out.
And already have a curio interaction for the medicinal herbs. And we got medicinal herbs from doing that. So that actually cost nothing. The beast bile. Let's go with that for now. Okay, I forgot. We're gonna have to deal with spear fishing again. If I can hit crush on this stinger, that will get rid of it.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Yeah, and I can still use Noxious Blast in position 2, so I may as well just stick with that. It does. Noxious Blast does a lot of damage. It blights for 6 for 3 rounds, even if it doesn't get a critical. And that leaves just the wide mouth as the real problem. Especially since I can't reach into Noxious Blast. So the abomination.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Yep, the weapon cuts on its own. Okay, that's the end of the wide mouth too. And I may as well just use no reason.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Oh, we got rubies. Wow. Getting good loot. Okay, and I did need to go down this way because we got a rune battle and some treasure. We can collect this stuff on the way back, assuming we make it back. And bandits. Because, of course, there are bandits. Why would you turn to banditry around here? I feel like there are a lot more profitable places you could be a bandit, like literally anywhere else. And I can't use Plague Grenade because they're in stealth, so I'll just have to torment the front line.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Unfortunately, my best answer is heal, please. Crush.
Destroyed.
Okay, that's that. And yeah, all I can really do is chain the guy in the front. And there's even less that the Plague Doctor. All the Plague Doctor can do is further poison the guy in the front. Okay, rope some healing. So, okay, the stealth is at least... Okay, the stealth wears off next round. Good. Then we can finally be done with the Fusiliers.
About to break.
So it wears off this round. It just wears off when they take their action. Crush on this.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
And no blanket fire. And our evasion goes down every time we use blanket fire.
Nerves. Panic.
Comfort. Question is, okay, so the Plague Doctor goes before the Cutthroat, so I have to use Plague Grenade. He isn't going to be pulled forward for me to be able to use Noxious Blast.
Slowly. Gently. This is how a life is
I just need to do a little bit more damage to the Fusilier and he's done. If I had done one more hit point worth of damage, he wouldn't have gotten to use Blanket Fire one last time. Comfort?
The blood pumps. The limbs obey.
I may as well kill him with Noxious Blast because I think it's funny.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Oh, don't I know it. Okay, and back to the fish people. And what's more, because of our team composition, the fact that the Oracle is in stealth doesn't really matter at all. Crush on the one most susceptible to that. Beast's Bile. Okay, that's the end of the wide mouth, but I can still use the wide mouth as a vehicle to get some Plague Grenade onto the, and it was a critical, too, onto the Oracle. Wait, no it isn't. I'm reading that wrong. It's 5 damage for 3 rounds, not 3 damage for 5 rounds. Literacy is not one of my strong suits, apparently. And entirely meaningless Barnacle. Actually, that's not a... Barnacle Barrier isn't entirely meaningless. It's only partially meaningless.
Slow death.
Yeah, that's the end of one of them.
Unforeseen.
But what's more,
unforgiving.
That puts him within range for Beast's Bile. Beast's Bile doesn't care about your defender status. And Noxious Blast should one-shot the man. No, it shouldn't. Well, sort of. It'll take it 2 turns to actually die, but... Okay, so that leaves just the Bulwark as the actual remaining threat. We have to tolerate the others for a couple of rounds before they keel over. The Bulwark is the only thing that's actually going to be alive in the near future. The distant near future.
For death by inches.
Noxious Blast. How much blight damage can I stack on a single enemy? Well, we're up to 15. Judgment will only do 1 to 2. I think let's go for more healing.
Sedated.
Crush, however, will do 2 to 3. I may as well go for Grandpa, trying to get a stun. But no, it actually gets to take one last action before it dies.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Right.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Absolution will do some of that stress.
Confidence
And there we
surges
go.
as the enemy crumbles.
Party order. Skeleton key.
A fortune waiting to be
I
spent.
got the citrine and the anti-venom for gold, and didn't realize I was holding on to citrine. I really shouldn't have been. At least not in a long mission like this. I knew I forgot something, and that something was shovels. Wonderful. Well, if I had to forget something, shovels are the thing we can most easily live without. Hopefully I won't run into an obstruct. Hopefully I won't run into another Mariner and or another Misfortune. Okay, that completes the backtracking. Now onward into uncharted territory. Except somehow we have a map of it. The map just doesn't contain very many details. Salvage an unburnt torch. Light the unburnt torch.
As the light gains purchase,
take damage from a trap.
spirits are lifted.
Get a really large debuff for 12 rounds. And fight whatever's in this room. Which is nothing. So we need to fight the nothing then. We've gone past nothing inspectors. Now we're nothing exterminators. It is... Foliot, it is just not your day. Also, apparently they've got a bulk discount on dead fish. And that face everyone would love to forget, an Uea Crusher. This thing needs to die fast. Fortunately, I think I can make that happen. Vestos needs to stick with healing. It's what she's good at, it's what she knows. I just need to this thing has low blight resistance. I just need to accumulate the blight damage on it as quickly as possible. Stun resistance is only mediocre, so I can stun it sometimes. So, a little more blight damage on it. Unfortunately, having pushed it, I was kind of not expecting Rampart to knock it back. Having knocked it back, I can't hit it with Noxious Blast anymore. Only Plague Grenade. So even when I succeed, I still manage to kind of fail. Grace, I'll keep the damage back a little bit. And Arterial Pinch, because of course Arterial Pinch. Okay, the bleeding was resisted, that's good. Plague Grenade does slightly less bleeding damage, but it still does pretty respectable bleeding damage. And honestly, I probably should have just used Defense.
Impressive.
Lighted for 17. One more Plague Grenade should do it. Well, sort of. But actually, I probably didn't need that Plague Grenade because I want to use... Actually, yes, I did, because I want to use Manacles on this guy. Divine Grace. I need to tolerate the Crusher for another turn or so. So, one more Arterial Pinch. Just a little pinch to remember him by. Which did 1 damage. And now we just need to deal with the frontmost wide mouth, and we're good. Or, well, we're alive. I don't feel like I can say that we're good as long as we're in here. That's 1 done. And Noxious Blast will take care of the other wide mouth. Possibly supplemented by Crush. Cool Crush to help it along. And I miscounted, and oh right, I didn't realize some of the damage was about to wear off. He gets 1 final pinch. Go for Bandage and Absolution. And may as well crush the Crusher. Oh, or not.
Their cursed champion falls.
Oh, there he goes. Light a torch,
The light,
grab a bust.
the promise of safety.
Actually, we're past the halfway point. Now is as good a time as any to make camp. We can even afford
Huddled
to
together,
feast.
furtive and vulnerable.
Then
Rats
use
in a
Sanctuary.
maze.
Then use Tactics. We don't normally use Tactics, but I think now the situation is dire enough to warrant Tactics. And not really sure what else to do, so I may as well encourage the vessel, since she doesn't have the ability to reduce her own stress. And open the heirloom chest. And more heirlooms. Who would have guessed? Okay, we got a room battle with a curio down here. There's going to be a bit of back and forth in this mission. Hope you guys survive it. Okay. Guy in stealth? Oh, what? Stealth will not save him from Plague Grenade. still take a couple of turns to finish him off. That's the downside of relying on Blight. It takes a while for it to actually make the enemy heal over. It does its job well enough, though. But there is no escaping Blade. Crush him. And the man-at-arms has decided he's tired of everyone else getting the damage, and so he goes for a massive critical trademark. Alright, and another beast vial will spell the end of the cutthroat. With a little help from the plague grenade. Is the Fusilier gonna die before he gets out of stealth? No, he dies the turn after he gets out of stealth. One of these days, one of the Fusiliers is gonna die before his stealth effect ends. I can go for some healing, because they're now all poisoned to death.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
And Absolution, get rid of the last bit of stress on the last person who has any stress. I'm actually leaving that blood vial behind.
But a victory nonetheless.
We got some scouting, but not enough to stop me from going all the way to the end. And I mean, we have a room battle down here anyway. This is what happens when you sign up for a long mission. It tends to take a while. Okay, and this time the stealth is actually a bit of a problem.
A decisive pummeling.
I fear no demon, for the greatest monster lies inside. So I'm going to start out with Judgment, and then I just need to do a little bit more damage, and the frontmost wide mouth will die. Like that. On the other orb. What? That seems like a really strange choice. I suppose the increased accuracy is helpful, but, I mean, boosting the damage of somebody who does almost no damage, that doesn't seem like the best strategy, guys. Okay, and then I do with slash. And now they're susceptible to Plague Grenade. All things fall before the plague. Let's get rid of the wide mouth. And that leaves just the two oracles. Which, oracles aren't really much of a threat when they're by themselves. Especially when they have more damage over time than they have hit points. We're done. Again. Which means we get a nice free round of healing. Which we barely need because we get this in every fight. I'm really starting to like this team composition. 3 out of the 4 have healing abilities. And in addition to this, we can just inflict stun on everything. Is everyone everyone's at full health. In addition to this, we kill enemies with blight, so we have an extra round to heal up between the blight wore off, I think. Oh no, it's... Where's my head at? Doesn't matter because he's dead.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Actually gonna toss the medicinal herbs for the crests. The Book of Constitution can stay here. Examine the ship's figurehead. Get some stress reduction. And I need to find out what's in this room at the end of the hall. And... I think the game knows who's playing it. It gave me 2 altars of the Shambler next to each other. Come on. Come on. You know you want it. You know you want to fight a Shambler, completely unprepared with minimal supplies. Oh no, I have too much loot to risk losing it in a fight with a Shambler this time. So, very much going against tradition, I'm going to exercise good judgment and not provoke the Shambler. Instead, I'm just going to enjoy the awesome battle music in the cove. we seriously mess up an outlaw bloodletter.
Mortality
And
clarified
get seriously
in a
messed
single
up by
strike.
an cutthroat. Point blank shot.
quickly
Haven't
the
seen
tide
that one in
turns.
a while. Okay. Just move back. All of a sudden, we need some healing. Let's get some healing. That's the end of the Fusilier. It means just further tormenting the bloodletter until he keels over. And another point-blank shot. And more pain. Okay, Noxious Blast.
Singular strike.
Well, not quite. See if Manacles is enough. Manacles is enough. Not even counting the stun. Actually go with Defender so I can get a chance to some extra healing.
The blood.
And
quickens.
collect on that extra healing. There we go.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Except we haven't actually used a blade to do anything in this entire fight. I realize that's just a figure of speech, but it is kind of funny. But there is... Yeah, I know that the Plague Doctor has a scalpel, but he hasn't been using it.
Grievous injury. Palpable fear.
Okay, Noxious Blast on one of these two assholes. At least some success. But why are the fish people and the cultists working together? Bandage and hack up something wicked at 'em.
Precision and power.
Crush? Because why not?
The flesh is knit.
That was quite a healing. That's the second 22 healing critical we've gotten today. Fortunately, the enemy also knows how to do it.
Masterfully executed.
Okay, and more rending and old gods and squishing sound effects and noxious blast, because I don't like it when you rend the old gods. Follow that up with judgment. And there we go. Follow that up with crush to go to the oracle, and there we go.
This expedition at least promises success.
And I have a frankly staggering haul of heirlooms right now. And I didn't need to come down here. But now we need to walk back while the torchlight slowly declines and the stress levels slowly increase, and nothing must be left
Glittering
unopened.
gold,
That's not an
trinkets and
excuse to
baubles.
open the corpse.
Paid
Stop.
for in blood.
Okay, which quirk is that? Which quirk is that? That would be compulsive. Yeah, we need to get rid of that compulsive quirk. We need to get rid of it soon. And we found a map. How much scouting have we got? That's one room battle, 2 room battles. Okay, so there's 3 room battles left in this map, and then we can all go home and shower off all of the smell of fish. I mean, watching these guys go through this, I feel like I need a shower by proxy just from all the dead fish these people have been crawling through. Once we get back to here, we should probably... Yeah, I'm just going to make camp in the same room we made camp in last time to clear up some inventory space and get a little bit more healing in. Partially because I want to save on torches, so I'm going to use that to replenish the torch level. And like I said, inventory space.
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
Sanctuary to prevent any nighttime ambushes, and then encourage on the one guy who needs encouragement. enchant on the man-at-arms. And instruction on... Let's give that to Plague Doctor. It doesn't do much, but I have nothing else to do
The
with
match
time
is
units.
struck. A blazing star is born.
And another map that does nothing because we have already... Nothing must be left unopened, and we found some booty.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Wonderful. Wait, we surprised the collector. Well, this is going to be interesting.
Well
How much
struck.
stun resistance do you have, collector? You do not have enough stun resistance. That's how much stun resistance you have. Okay, Noxious Blast. Judgment. And Crush. Oh, critical crush, no less. And now we get to take some blight damage and recover from stun. We're not going to be able to stun him again. We are going to be able to damage him a lot. Still using Manacle. He's blighted for 12. And finally breaks out Collect All. Okay, Crush. Can't one-shot any of these. I'm going to go for the Highwayman. And another Judgment on the Collector to try to end him quicker. Put him out of my misery. Now is if there was ever a good time for Transform, though, this is that time. And that would... Rape will do 8 to 14, so it could kill, but Rage will definitely kill the Collecting Highwayman. Or it will miss. That's the other thing that might happen. There's really just that. Anytime I say something will definitely kill, the truth is it's about to miss. But the Collector is now blighted past his capacity, so yeah, head games isn't going to save you from that. Now we just need to wait for the Collector to finish dying, and then we can all move on. Crush on the highway to prevent him from using Headhunt. A little bit of healing for everyone.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
And transform back to your human mode. De-stress everyone a little bit. And use Absolution. And there we go.
A predator is often blind to its own peril. Foolish horrors.
I'll drop the
Brought
gold.
low and driven into the mud.
I was not expecting to run into the Collector today, which I guess nobody expects the Collector Inquisition. And another Crusher. I wasn't expecting that either. And sticking with Noxious Blast, I want to focus on the Crusher until it's gone. Lighting out with Dazzling Light. 50-50 chance of stunning.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
And yeah, I'm still letting the Man-at-Arms accomplish nothing by attacking the Wide Mouth, only for its damage to be healed by Sea Breeze. I was hoping I could just let him take care of the Wide Mouth, but because of the healing, he might not be able to do that. I actually never really processed the fact that I'm used to just assuming the fish folk have all have some level of protection. I didn't really realize until now, Pelagine Widemouths actually have a protection value of 0. And Noxious Blast. I suppose the further we can go after them with Crush. A little more damage on the Crusher is gone. Will not be crushing the Crusher, though. Will instead be poisoning it to death. That's the only thing this team knows how to do. The last bit of crush damage to guarantee that it dies. And manacles to finish off the Wide Mouth. And, as usual, the Vesper will stick to what she knows.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Okay, that leaves just the Oracle all by himself. but he can still use Stress Wave in position 2. Yeah, the game is pretty flexible when it comes to the positions enemies can be in to use their abilities. And I don't feel like holding out for the Keeler, or I'll use Crush.
Success so clearly in view.
Okay, now I finally have to leave
Or
stuff
is it
behind.
merely a trick of the light?
Running out of space. Okay, 2 more battles, and then we can all go home. Okay, actually, it's a bit more than 2 more battles because of the interspersed hallway battles. I don't believe it's possible to run into the Collector multiple times in a single map. Though if it were possible, this would be the map in which that would happen. Okay, that's the frontmost cutthroat taken care of. We still have to deal with the others. For now, anyway. And because of that, the positioning is all kinds of messed up now. One Noxus Blast, the other Cutthroat. Because why not? When thinking about poisoning enemies, don't ask why. Ask why not. Manacle this guy. That just leaves the Cutthroat, and it doesn't leave him for long either. Some Divine Comfort in there. And I have an idea. Let's start with using Defender. Because now I can use Battlefield Medicine and not have to spend a bandage getting rid of that bleeding. That is always helpful. And there we go. Not bothering with the notes.
As victories
too much
mount,
actually valuable
so
stuff
too
on me
will
right now.
resistance.
Still not bothering with the notes. I know the game really wants me to take the notes, but I'm not bothering with the notes. And the coral is soothing to the mind, which would have reduced stress if he had any. But he's just having a nice, leisurely stroll through the cove, you know, killing fish people, poisoning them to death with his own bile. Just nice, relaxing.
A shard of alien malignity.
Well, I knew it was possible. And this, considering the fact that the thing from the stars gets gradually increased protection, the more durable, the more damage it takes. This is actually the best team combination to take this thing on. But also, so that makes 2 different mini-bosses in one, that makes 2 different mini-bosses in one dungeon run. Okay. Rampart actually has a 15% chance to stun this thing.
Exposed to a killing blow.
Turn to the stars. Okay, so yeah, now it summons up a crystalline aberration. Oh, that cures its blighted status. That makes the prospect of blighting a lot less
Another
helpful.
one falls.
Forgot about that. On the other hand, it spends a majority of its turn doing things other than that, so it can still cause a lot of damage. Sky Taint? That's a new disease. What does that do? Plus 20% stress, minus 20% blight and bleed resistance. That's bad. The fact we don't have any anti-venom is even more bad. Stick with the 15% chance to stun, and we got it. I'm actually going to tolerate the extra blight damage because I don't want to risk using Battlefield Medicine when I could be using... Oh, never mind. Okay, again with manacles.
Executed with impunity.
And Battlefield Medicine for the blight. Crush. It'll do very little, but it'll do something. right, his stun resistance is still elevated, so that doesn't have the 15% chance to stun that I was hoping it had.
Ringing ears, blurred vision. The end approaches.
Going for return to the stars again, but it is gradually killing itself.
Back to the pit.
And frankly, even if the abilities don't last for a long time because it can cure damage over time is still the best way to damage it. It's because its protection is so insanely high at low health.
A momentary abatement.
Well, a combination of damage over time and just letting it gradually destroy itself. Paralyzing shot. What does that do? Oh, stun is what that does. That's actually kind of obvious. Sticking with Noxious Blast because the Plague Doctor does not have anything to do meaningful damage to the shard.
Another
What the abomination does.
Cleansed from our lands.
Hey, don't say that in front of Foliot. He's not a bad guy. Don't talk so much about cleansing abominations. Abomination. I mean, he may be an abomination, but he's our abomination. I don't want to cleanse him from our lands. Oh, you're talking about the crystal. Never mind. Yeah, I'm glad the crystal's gone. Going for Return of the Stars. But now I can still get a couple of hits of Noxious Blast, and that's unless he resists Blight. But before he uses Return to the Stars again, he'll still take 2 ticks of damage from Noxious Blast, which is 12 damage that cannot be reduced in any way. That's actually still pretty good.
Surgical precision.
And its stun resistance is no longer elevated, so I may as well rampart it. Sticking with Noxious Blast, because like I said, that 12 damage could add up. Of course, it keeps resisting it. Stop resisting! Stop resisting the Blight. And I continue not to have any more anti-venom. Yeah, I didn't bring anti-venom because I was going to the Cove, and I assumed we wouldn't be running into things that can cause Blight.
Unnerved.
I assumed
Unbalanced.
kinda wrong. I don't know if being stunned can stop it from using Return to the Stars, and I'm not going to find out this round. But it is gradually destroying itself. Unfortunately, it's rapidly destroying us. Some of that healing in there. And I'm going for Noxious Blast anyway in hopes of a Blight that I'm not going to get. It has literally done significantly more damage to itself than I have done to it. Okay, and the Vestal is afflicted.
Frustration and fury. More destructive than 100 cannons.
Okay, we got a Blight, and we got reduced Blight resistance. And that was immediately before it used Return to the Stars, so it used none. But its Blight resistance hasn't been restored. The Return to the Stars cures Blight, but it doesn't cure debuffs. So its Blight resistance is still reduced, which I can take advantage of for the Plague Doctor. We're almost out of this, guys. Just a little more. Noxious Blast. Please Blight this time. Thank you. Oh, but it's only taking 6 because it had already taken one of its 2 actions. Well, 6 is still a lot. 6 is a big number. Change my mind. Some healing. We're into the 10th round of this fight. It feels like it's been longer than that. Okay, one more Return to the Stars and it's done. Manacles, which finally rolls low and fails to destroy the shard. It's bound to happen sooner or later, or rather the aberration. But Noxious Blast could finish the job. And now we just need to survive. May as well use Crush, no reason not to. Get some healing.
Soothed. Sedated.
And, yep, it still uses Return to the Stars, even though that will kill it. And that's the end of the Thing from the Stars.
To the void.
20 crystal shards, as well as the quick draw charm. I'm actually willing to lose out on the quick draw charm. And no, in spite of having encountered 2 different mini-bosses, we are not retreating. We can make it through this. We're almost at the end of this. Just a little farther, and we're home free. And just one more Uea Crusher, because there weren't enough of those already. We're gonna end this mission with everyone afflicted, aren't we? Crush the white. Ho-ho! When I told him to crush the wide mouth, he took it in a slightly different direction than I was thinking. There is no wide mouth anymore. It's gone. Well, that's not entirely true. There's bits of it there. There's some of it over there. It's just kind of scattered throughout the room. Move the Vestal back. Spearfishing, which might arguably be helpful. Stick with Noxious Blast and the Crusher. We need the Crusher to die. And Plague Doctor's resolve is tested, and he's fearful. Not only do we have...
Fear and frailty finally claim their due.
Not only do we have 3 afflictions, we have 3 different afflictions. Paranoid, fearful, and abusive. Just do an absolution for it. Actually, I should just have the Abomination transform, honestly, at this point. It can do no harm. Material pinch, fortunately we have bandages. But, yeah, screw it. I'm going all in. And rage on the wide. Rage against the dying of the fish. And move the Man-at-Arms forward. And... and now the Plague Doctor just decided to skip his turn, so I can't heal his bleeding! Wonderful! Thank you. Okay, just a little bit more damage and we're done. And even more bleeding. Okay, so the Plague Doctor is now bleeding for 16. Rage, and it does nothing. Because of course it does nothing. I needed it to do something, and when I need Rage to do something, it always does nothing. Okay, Anti-Venom, Noxious Blast. We are so thoroughly almost there. Rampart, and that also missed. Okay, Judgment. There we go. Now the Crusher doesn't get another action to torment us.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit,
Unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Okay. And yeah, it's pretty likely at this point that we end up with everyone... A third one! A third Altar of the Shambler. And I even have a torch! I have one last torch that I can use on the Altar of the Shambler. I'll save that for when I'm tired of living. Okay, and again, going for Transform. Because I need to end this fight quickly. And this time I'll go for Rake. Pair that with Noxious Blast. They have fairly high blight resistance, but I can still overcome it. And a critical healing, just when I needed it.
a dizzying blow to body and brain.
Okay, And someone finally has the Crimson Curse. It's bound to happen sooner or later, and it finally happened. Significantly more concerningly, the Man-at-Arms is rather close to having a heart attack. Break? That gets rid of one of the supplicants. So far, it's only one case of the curse. Let's see how long it stays that way. Plague, Sigma Plague Grenade, see if we can get rid of the other supplicant. We cannot. At least not immediately. Yeah, the Man-at-Arms doesn't want to be healed. I don't care, honestly. He doesn't need it. Rampart the 16th. Okay, this is all getting rather close to the edge. We're dancing with the, or dancing next to the abyss at this point. Rage. Okay, just try to rage the supplicant. So close. So close, and yet so very far. Okay, Crush took care of it. He's gone. So the Vestal stick is healing. And the Man-at-Arms is not wanting to heal. The stress is at 192. It wouldn't take much to push him over the edge, and we still have one more battle we have to do after this. And... and yep, now we have a paranoid abomination, too. Oh, and that caused him to de-transform. Let's go for Judgment. And Judgment also didn't kill. Crush? Okay, Crush worked. Crush did it. And I even got a critical, which means a slight stress reduction, which is good because we need it.
Remind yourself that overconfidence
Back
is
to our
a slow
default
and
party order
insidious
after all
killer.
the massive shuffling we just took. Okay, it's just fish people and cultists. This is something we might be able to handle, though the fact that they have access to both Stress Wave and Stressful Incantation is a bit of a problem. Particular Plague Grenade, see if we can get rid of the stress causers early. And yeah, they're going for the Man-at-Arms Stressful Incant, and there he goes.
As life
He's not
ebbs,
dead yet, at least. That's a good thing.
vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
He's not dead yet, but I need to get some healing. I need to get some healing on him fast. Okay, he's still just at death's door, but now he's even more screwed than he was. I really... And, okay,
waits.
and he's even
The
more
slightest
screwed.
lapse
I
in
really need the
concentration.
Vestal to get a turn. Okay, bandage. Crush on the Enchantress. Oh, god damn it.
More dust,
You just...
more ashes.
Arundel, I hope you feel better about yourself. I hope you feel real good about yourself right now, Arundel, because those words just killed... What you just said literally killed one of your teammates. Wonderful. This was almost had it. Alright. Noxious Blast the Gladiator, because I can get rid of him fairly quickly that way. That's the Enchantress gone. Judgment on the Shaman. Yeah, okay. They're done. They're out of stress causing ability, which is good because we have enough stress as is. Okay. Bandage the Abomination, and there's really no option other than transform. And still going to take a few turns to get rid of the Bulwark, but the transformed Abomination can at least help. Go for another bandage, and more rage. I need to back that up with Noxious Blast, but a critical from rage would be very helpful. Because otherwise this fight's going to take a while. We're almost there, guys. Just need you to persevere just a little more. Doing everything we've been doing to the enemy, we're almost done with them. We just need to cause a little bit more damage, and we can all that are still alive of us can get out of this alive. And that does it. That settles it. Okay, go for a bandage and de-transform. And absolutely, why not?
Sedated.
And Divine Comfort for fundamentally the same reason. And that is the end of the Guardian. Keeping Barristan's
These
head.
nightmarish creatures can be felled.
And
they can be beaten.
I have no supply items to drop in exchange for the crests, so I'll drop the smallest stack of gold. Snake oil is staying here. Okay, that was rather harrowing. Let's get out of this hamlet.
The pungent odor abates. The things are driven back.
11,000 gold just as the quest reward, and that's not getting into the huge haul of heirlooms. Still is unfortunate that we lost the man-at-arms, though, especially given the amount of effort it took to train him up. But we completed the mission. We have a legendary bracer, which is a very good trinket to have, and a frankly astounding haul of heirlooms on top of that. And a decent amount of gold while we're at it. And those that survive become stronger. Prismatic Isolation, plus 25% debuff resistance. That's not bad. Okay, now we need some stress treatment.
All the decadent horrors I have seen pale in comparison to that final, crowning thing.
Neos,
I could not look, nor
we're
could
gonna
I
have to
look
meditate.
away.
And since he has the Crimson Curse, the other two are gonna have to be treated in the tavern. Unfortunately, the Vestal can't be treated in the tavern, and I refuse to risk any contagion, so she's just gonna not be treated for now. 102,000. Why am I saying 102,000? Just 102 crests. Let's see if I can get myself armor smithing. That's up to 16. One more. That'll do. Okay, and I can finally get armor smithing rank 3. Rank 4, I mean. Well, armor smithing level 3, which allows me to upgrade armor to rank 4.
In the end, every plan relies upon a strong arm and tempered steel.
And that's definitely the upgrade that I want. And well, we lost a man-at-arms. It seems most logical to replace him with a man-at-arms.
The raw strength of youth may be spent, but his eyes hold the secrets of 100 campaigns.
Anyway, having defeated the Swine King, and also having had an arguably successful encounter with the thing from the stars, I'd say it's time for the end for this episode. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time.